back live at the half, and we wish we had better news for you guys. But the good news is, that thanks to you guys, we've had over 600. Even though I did put out the message earlier, but we've had over 600 and still counting as far as live views. So we do appreciate everyone that came on to watch us, the love. We do appreciate it all. Also, with Mike Sherman, the guru himself, it's, we love that he was on. Don't get me wrong. But his predictions, once again, start coming back to life. 14-3, and this is really a disaster. And now I'll kind of break it down play by play here. But, Mike, I don't know how you're feeling, but this coming off a bye week, it is just, it would be like us sitting quietly for 10 minutes and people just watching us, which you can't sit anywhere quietly. But that's how bad it is. You can almost just look outside, and I'm looking outside my studio window here, and basically just look at the sun and clouds and just imagine if this was actually a better game.
Nah, it's a disgrace. I don't know. It's like this team's just flatline or dead. There's no – to me, it looks like Wentz is just throwing the ball all over the place. Looked like Dallas Goedert got hurt. Richard Rodgers had some one or two good catches, but you look out here on the Delaware River, it's just overcast and windy, kind of like the Pittsburgh game. That was a better performance, but there's no lifeline with this team. Slay must be shutting the other side down, but looks like Avonte Maddox is just getting whipped up and down the field. There's no urgency. This team's like all over the place. There's no penetration up front. Danny Dimes runs in for a touchdown and blows by five guys. Anyway, I'll bite my tongue.
No.
I was about to WTF Wednesday, right. Thursday, Friday. Just say,
no, but it's true. Now you look at it, right? Because the commentators, of course, on Fox, they were saying that it was supposed to be, an up-tempo start, and I don't want to giggle because, of course, they made fun of Casey Kasem there with his the up-tempo number. So if you guys don't know it, by all means, YouTube it, right? Casey Kasem, up-tempo, and you will laugh hysterically, at least for the 2 minutes when he talks about a death dedication, and I'll leave it at that because he went off. But no, it's the same thing. You look at the first series coming right out of the gate, the Eagles sacked Danny Dimes, right? So it looked like, oh my God, it's going to be a fantastic start. And then what happens? Right after that, Daniel Jones, and I showed the video from Buffalo Wild Wings where they turn up a little sprinkler and it trips up Danny Dimes. Well, it seemed like the Giants were like, no, you failed that the last time because you decided to trip your own self up. We're going to do it again this time right. And sure enough, Danny Dimes just blows right through the line.
Yeah, it's a disgrace. Flat out. I don't know. This team just looks lost. They're not motivated. You know what? I'll say this. It's, the reflections on Doug Peters. These guys and Jim Schwartz just consistently inconsistent play. Flat out. Just a flat out disgrace. I don't know where to begin.
It's the way you look at it. It's ugly overall, and Tom hits it running ahead here. It's ugly first half, and that's exactly what it is. And then he follows that with totally flat, which you start out with before I start reading the comments here, and that's exactly what it is. They're completely flat. And the guru himself says need some points. Now I will go back to Mark Levy when he was with the Cardinals. Playoffs points. You want points? The points aren't happening. It doesn't happen with this team. It's so flatline, it's ridiculous. And we'll get into Carson and Doug, as you were saying before we came on air here, as far as saying who needs to be a replacement. But another first-timer here, Michelle Martin, and I don't want to butcher the last name, so DeGaulier? All right. She says, what is going on with this team? Michelle, if we knew, we would tell you. The problem is, as Mike had pointed out, Mike had stated just before we came back on air here that it's either Doug and or Carson. Now, Barbara earlier, the Mrs. Sherman, she earlier said it's time to get rid of Carson Wentz. Of course, I was trying to defend Carson Wentz, but at this point, you figure between the second series, it was an overthrown pass about 2 times. One is Zach Ertz. I guess he wants to get Zach Ertz ribs, hurt all over again.
I mean,
You had another one. Yeah. Hightower, another another overthrown ball. I mean, it looks just so bad. Then he trips up at 3rd and 1, which then we fail to convert. And then of course the Eagles think, oh, we're going to do the 52 fake out and we're going to try and make them jump to get the first down. Well, it doesn't work that way. It is just looking pretty much atrocious. And from this point, after from the 3rd series moving forward, thankfully both teams have been punting. Yes, it could be a lot worse. We're down by 11. Can it get worse? It probably will.
I don't know. I'm like speechless because, I mean, these guys are coming off a bye, or you're getting guys like Jeffrey Bennett, which, it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get. Hasn't played almost a year. Like, this team to me just seems like they're just going through the motions of just going out and playing, but they're not executing, which is a joke.
So if you're the GM right now, let me pose a question to you and to the viewers out there. If you're the GM right now, and of course we also know that who's to blame as well because he's not doing his due diligence, but if you're the GM, do you A, get rid of Doug, or B, bench Carson for the next 2 games, bring in Jalen Hurts so you can figure out whether it's Doug and or Carson?
Well, I bring in Hurts because Howie's problem is Jeff Luer's too loyal. And I'd say, Howie, thanks for your memories. You brought us a Super Bowl, but it's time to put him back in the back room where Chip Buddy sits. Stick to the contracts. You need a legitimate general manager. I mean, Schwartz, I'll run him out of town. Doug, I don't know. I'm just throw Hurts out there, shake it up, bench him. I mean,
gotta give here.
It's Wentz. I think he's uncoachable. I mean, John D. Filippo said it. He likes to do stuff on his own, and Wentz is the problem.
But he is. According to Michelle here, he probably is a problem because she says I need to drink more to watch my Eagles play. So sad. And listen,
I'm already there, way ahead of you.
I would agree because, I don't, of course, everybody knows that I don't drink a lot. And if I do, I have, a beer here and there. But if I was a shot guy or a whiskey guy, I do like Jack Daniels. But maybe I need to line up on a bar, like about 5 or 6 shots. And Michelle will end up going shot for shot along with Mike. And, we'll have, I guess, a drinking game on what can end up being worse, I guess, at this point. Because that's the way it seems. I mean, it's just there's no life in this team, and it's just horrendous at this point.
It's a joke. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're not even getting into the tough part of the schedule, and we're losing against, an NFC least team. Hey, Browns, Seattle, Green Bay, the Saints, the Cardinals. I mean, what's it going to be like against them? They're going to come out flat. Hey, this team could have 12 losses. Who the black news?
No, it's true. I mean, it's you take a look. I mean, the schedule doesn't get any easier. You have one more 1:00 game next week, and then we there's that goofy 8:20, 4:20, 4:20, 1:00, and I mean it's all over the place. And of course, the travel adds to it as well. We can't beat the Giants this week. I mean, from here on forward, it's going to look really, really bleak. And I know we talked about it earlier during the pregame show that obviously the NFC East is a complete joke. I know I made fun of obviously the Giants and DCU and obviously the Cowboys. But and again, because I do take the hits as much as I throw the punches. And that's one of those things that it looks disgraceful when it comes to this team. Doug, every week when you look at it, you hear his press conference on, at PhiladelphiaEagles.com. He talks about all these things that sound good, whether it's on a projector or paper or whatever. But when you see the product in the field, it's almost like, yeah, we had a plan, but we're not going to use that plan because what we have is the product in front of you, and that's it, folks, for 2020. So if this is part of this 2020 nonsense, I guess we've seen the best from the worst on this team today, unless they really sharpen up the second half.
Well, there's too much talent on this team to be what the hell it is. I mean, you got a good core left over, from 2017. You got the leaders. But I don't know where to begin. I mean, you scratch your head and shake your head like WTF. I don't know where anybody's head is on this team. Everybody's just like they're just going through emotions of collecting a paycheck at this point. I mean, it should start at the top or with Peterson because obviously, all right, self-motivation should be there. I mean, the game, the second half's already started, but it's like, I don't know. I just point the finger at a lot of guys. Point the finger at Dog, Jim Schwartz. I mean, it's a shame they can't get out there and play, but, it shouldn't take, a lot. You're a professional. It just stinks to high heavens.
Yeah, it does. And give a quick shout out here, Bobby Edwards. And Bobby, of course, I remember you as well from Edens and it's back in Philly when we were Edens/SEPTA. So, Bobby, I don't forget, folks, but I appreciate you also tuning in. And what's up, my brother? I haven't spoken to you or seen you in a while. So I hope all is well with you and the family. I do appreciate you coming on and watching us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, we know the second half has started. I think we're probably getting more people tuning in as far as when it comes to us to the show, unless and look, what I can see here from my left, that Carson made either a run or a throw here pass, but with the sun shadow, it kind of screws me up. But again, we're coming up with the second half. We have, no idea what's going to happen here. As the Juru pointed out, we need more points, and we don't know if we're going to end up getting it or not. And he called it 28-17, if I remember correctly, during the pregame show. And thanks, Bobby. No doubt, bro. So, but I thanks again for watching, and again, we'll be in contact here soon. But it's one of those things that this is either going to get either better or worse. And if they can't pull off the win today, I know they came back from behind the last game, but if we're going to be coming back from behind every single game, week to week, the Eagles can forget about anything that's going to be promising in 2020.
Oh, the way it's looking now, I mean, Miles Sanders had a nice run. Probably a 4 or 5 yard pass to Dallas Goddard. Greg Ward just picked up the first down. So looks like Carson's starting to get into a rhythm. Knock on wood. They got the first down about the Giants' 35-yard line. Oh, wait, there goes Bosco. Boston Scott down to about the 15. Just picked up about 30 yards on that. Oh, it's a touchdown.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, Tom just did it.
Touchdown Bosco. So hopefully our luck's changing.
I'm unfortunate because down here in Tampa, I got about a 7 to 10 second delay, so I'm not even at that point yet. So I rely on you guys, obviously, for keeping me up because the delay down here gets a little bit long. So by the time I find out there's a touchdown or any kind of score, it's about 10 to 20 seconds behind you guys. But I don't know.
I thought Boston Scott stepped out of bounds, but just the angle. No, he didn't.
He did?
No, he didn't. Nah, it looked like he got hit, but I didn't think so. It looked like he went out of bounds probably about the 18-yard line. I mean, he got tripped up. I didn't think he was in. No. Maybe they're down to about the 13-yard line. But I don't know. Let's see what happens if they call it and review it. I thought he went out of bounds.
I forgot here the Drew, which is he just reminded us here. And speaking of, for as far as the Drew, but he picked it earlier, 2017. there is a great probability. I don't know if it's the right words to say, but there's a good probability there would be a third person coming up here on the show very, very shortly. So it may go from a 2-man crew to a 3-man crew, and of course we're going to have fun and enjoy it, and it's only just going to make things bigger and better. So there could be some good news coming up here come next week. So we'll talk about it a little bit off air.
2's a couple, 3's a crowd.
Yeah, well, but this would be a good 3's a crowd, though. That's the whole thing. That would be a
3's
good
company.
Exactly. Definitely, exactly. So Mike, of course, couldn't be back on with us at halftime. Him and the missus had something to do this afternoon for the half, but of course he is putting his comments in here, and we always appreciate Mike. We love him to death because from the beginning, Mike, you're looking at Tom, Rick Marcus. People are definitely putting comments. We do appreciate it. Bobby Edwards, of course, from back home in Philly. Michelle, a new viewer from what we can see in the comments. So we appreciate all the comments that are being put into place. We do appreciate it. But, what's going to have to be, and I can't see obviously they're on a commercial break, but what do you think it's going to have to be the adjustment going from here to the end of the game?
Oh, just everybody stepping up and getting that momentum back just to win this game. Eagles seem like a second-half team this year. I don't know. Like I said, Wentz's back's to the wall. He's going to come out swinging like Balboa. I know I would. But that's Carson Wentz. When he's down and out, he just finds a way to just pull something out of his hat. You score here, you're in the game anyway, but still, let's go for dinner here and put the women and children to bed. Dominate. Domination. Like Dawkins said, snot bubbles, crazy eyes. What are you going to bring to the table tonight? You play that as Dawkins.
One can only hope, because Tom here, he says that the Eagles need an interception return for a touchdown, and yeah, definitely it's needed. And of course, the president himself of the biggest fan club down here in Tampa, I was about to say Philly, but in Tampa, Philly to South, Mike Klein, he says, love the show, full of great Eagle information. We do appreciate it, Mike. By the way, touchdown?
No, change that dial. We're coming back.
Well, hold on. First, let's hope they don't go for a 2-pointer and they actually get the extra point. What's it look like?
Oh, let's see what Doug's going to do. What are you going to do, Doug? Dougie. My best friend. We're going for 2.
Oh, brother.
I'm just going to run it right in. Miles Sanders, 2-point conversion. Got it.
Well, and finally one worked. 1 out of 115.
Booby Miles with the 2-point conversion. This is Merrill Reese along with Mike Quick.
Yeah. So, Mike, before I end up, as far as taking off his banner up here, if you guys reach out to Mike Klein on Philly to South, his Facebook page, he has a lot of Eagles items that he's putting up for sale. If you guys happen to be down there at Tampa Joe's, he's got more stuff down there. And, of course, he had his T-shirts, 1 for $15, 2 for $25. So if anybody sees Mike down there, let him know that we sent you down there and get yourself a great shirt. And Tom, of course, says also it's a 2-point conversion. So, well, then I guess we'll wrap up the half here. Even though we started watching the game, I could just now finally see the touchdown drive. But once again, everybody, we thank Mike Sherman coming on earlier today, Pat Kern yesterday with us with the great interview, the fun interview, and he will probably come on later on again in the season. So we also thank him. If you guys, and as I'm drawing the big blank here, which I'm pretty sure, oh, that's right, Rebuilding New York Football Podcast. So you guys, if you want to find him on Twitter, he's got a couple hundred followers. He just started about 3 weeks ago. So if you guys want to see him, by all means, follow him on Twitter. Rebuilding New York Football, the podcast. So Pat, thanks to him. Mike, of course, thank you, my dear friend. And we hope that the second half will turn out to be a lot better for everyone that's viewing the show. We appreciate everybody coming back at the half with us. And, well, enjoy the rest of the game that we hope turns out to be a win.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to thank Rich and Kathleen from Eagles Mania. Again, trying to find any families or anybody who wants to make a money donation or donate some food to some needy families for Thanksgiving. Coming up, please inbox me. In the South Jersey, Philadelphia area, we appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And like I said, I'll be putting a post on later after the game. If anybody wants to donate food, possibly a small donation, everything is very appreciated. Again, get to me and inbox me, and I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP as far as the turkey dinners for the most needy folks right now during this time.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, Rich, sorry we couldn't have you on because of the audio issues, but Mike is correct. Let's not let anyone go hungry. If anything that we can do right, make sure that you donate whatever food, money, whatever it is, because it's for a good cause. I know WMMR has a big camp out for hunger at the end of the year for that same reason. But let's see if Rich Bridge and his wife and Mike and everyone else can get together. And who knows, maybe we can make it a competition and beat WMMR, even though they are hard to beat. But let's not anyone go hungry, please. By all means, especially when it comes to the holidays. And my aunt, I called the comment here before we ended the broadcast here for the halftime. Millie, she says, do your thing, Angel. And thank you as well, too, because, her, my Aunt Minnie, from my stepfather's side, they all love the show, and I thank them very much because they're a huge family, and I appreciate the love and support. So thank you, Dia. I appreciate it, and I still got to come down to Kissimmee over there to see you guys. It's been about 2 years. Last time we all got together, or last year for New Year's, one of the two. But I definitely need to see you guys again. So with that being said, let's hope that the Eagles turn it around. Let's hope they win. If they get another touchdown, the 2-point conversion nonsense scares me to death, but who knows what's going to happen. We will see you guys again come next week for another show. It should be 11 a.m. start because it's a 1 o'clock game. So we see everybody back here next week. Mike, enjoy the show over there from Maggie's. We thank Maggie's also for allowing us to broadcast from there. And it could be a possibility I'll be on the road come next week for a live show over at one of our favorite locations. So we'll see, students. Stay tuned in for that. Mike, be safe. We will see you again come next week.
Angel, God bless. Stay healthy.
All right. We will see.
Thank you for everybody tuning in. Without you, we can't make it.
That's for sure. So
we need you to make it happen.
Well, we will see everyone next week. God bless everyone, and still go Birds.